Like, this was the thing that I was thinking about with Jon Jones. Jon Jones said he needed 6 months to prepare for Aspinall if he's going to fight Aspinall. So they were trying to make a deal, and then he decided to retire. But it's 6 months because he's not training, like, at all. Like, he just doesn't train. Like, in between fights, just doesn't train. Yeah. To me, the real fight would have been Jon Jones versus Francis. That's the real fight. If I, like, clearly I'm not responsible for making decisions, because I would have made a lot of different decisions, and I would have, like, Francis, let's talk, let's work this out. That guy's a star. Francis is the fucking scariest heavyweight of all time. Yeah, that's a star. You know, like, that guy as the heavyweight champion is so fucking marketable. He puts people into orbit. Yeah, you know, he flatlined Stipe. He flatlined Alistair. He flatlines people. He's fucking terrifying.
Joe Rogan has weighed in on the announcement of Jon Jones' retirement from the UFC, and his reaction has sparked another wave of debate in the MMA world. While Rogan stopped short of declaring Jones gone for good, he admitted the moment carries the weight of an era coming to a close. In a recent discussion, Rogan reflected on how strange it is to picture the heavyweight division without Jones, but also pointed out that the sport moves quickly, and right now, that division belongs to Tom Aspinall.
I go back and forth on what I think the greatest of all time means, but if you want to say, like, who dominated his division longer than anybody, who beat everybody that was ever any good in his division, and who never lost, that's Jon Jones. The only time you could say he had a controversial decision was the Dominic Reyes fight. That was Dominic Reyes was coming up, he was in his prime, it was a really good fight, a really close fight, but Jon won what I think was a split decision, and then he had a split decision with Thiago Santos. But the bottom line is Jon won all those fights. He wins the heavyweight title too. It's tough to argue he's not the greatest of all time. Aspinall's a freak. Even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. But Jon has been used to fighting guys like Alexander Gustafsson, guys who are really fast at light heavyweight. So the speed is not going to be as much of an adjustment. He fought Lyoto Machida. Machida was a lightning bolt, man. And he caught Jon a bunch of times. But then there's the thing of getting caught by Lyoto Machida is not like getting caught by 255-pound Tom Aspinall.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who just won the interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky,
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless Jon avoided him, unless Jon used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
The Shop Shutdown.
I saw a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast. Very fast for a heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah, but we felt the same way about Ciryl Gane.
Yeah, but
Ciryl Gane doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground. Very legit on the ground.
So legit that
dad-
his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Gane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
Rogan acknowledged Jones' legendary resume, suggesting that stepping away now might even be a calculated decision. In his words, if Jon is truly finished, he exits at the pinnacle, still viewed by many as the rightful champion, unbeaten for more than a decade, and regarded as the greatest to ever do it. But that's exactly where the controversy begins. Fans are divided. Some see this as a brilliant way to preserve his legacy, while others accuse him of avoiding the one matchup that could have defined his career, clashing with Tom Aspinall at his peak. And it's not just the fan base talking. Fighters, coaches, and analysts are all weighing in, questioning whether Jones is genuinely finished or simply leaving the door open for the right payday or opponent.
And Jon had been telling us for quite some time, I already told the UFC my plans. I'm not sure why they haven't done anything with it. But it seems as though as he continued to try and hint at what his plans were, the UFC felt like their hand was forced and they had to put it out there. Because at this point, what are we waiting for? Now, Tom Aspinall is coming to Las Vegas this week. He will be there back end of the week. He was told that a decision would be made by International Fight Week. Why I think this is ludicrous that it all went down like this was, we had waited so long for the resolution to this issue. Could they have not done something in Las Vegas in front of all the fans before the press conference, after the press conference, before the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins, in the middle of the card on Saturday, before the fight, after the fight, presenting Tom with the belt, saying, you are the man, this is the glamour division, you are the baddest man on the planet, you're the heavyweight champion, you've done it all right, everything we've asked of you. Why not do it like that? He's literally going to be there in a couple of days. Where every media member, every fan is going to be there. You do it like this? In a throwaway, midway through a press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, in the middle of the night over there, when no one's paying attention, you do it like that.
And the belt against the top guy, you can't be the guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that pissed a lot of people off.
See,
agree or disagree?
Yeah, so I agree with you. And here's the thing, like my whole entire career, I've always defended I've always defended Jon Jones. And I'm going to say this, like, I truly believe he's one of the best to ever do it. I truly believe that. I've worked out in the same room as him. I've seen his eyes, I see how he moves. But then when I sit there and I've always wanted to do this on my channel, is basically dissect a person's career. Go to the very first time they got into the UFC and just go through the whole entire thing. And when you go through it, it's like Michael Wanzer of Love Him to Death. He is so honest and unbiased. And he was like, dude, like, how are you going to say Jon Jones is one of the greatest of all time when he's fucking failed a drug test?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Like, listen to yourself right now. Like, you're lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Like, he's like, you actually look stupid. Like, you and GSP and Habib have never failed a drug test.
Yes.
Not fucking once.
Yes.
And you're sticking up for somebody who's clearly failed a drug test, right? Now, if you go, I know Shaquille O'Neal said, oh, he's one of the greatest. Shaq, let me sit you down. Let me run you through the whole entire career of all that stuff, right? And, you know, when you sit there and you peel back the onion and you start looking at that, it's like, you know, yeah, I always...
You didn't believe in that. That's not what you were about.
Yeah,
I
didn't believe it.
So how can someone who did that multiple times...
It's like approval. It's almost like if you're putting him in the same category as
then
you,
you're okay with it.
You're approving
Yes.
and condoning what he did.
On the other side, Tom Aspinall has made it clear he's not dwelling on a potential Jones fight anymore. He's focused on defending his belt and writing his own story, one defined by consistency, dominance, and leaving no doubt about who rules the division.
Honestly, can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matter. So, yeah, I get it completely. Get his point of view. Get what everybody's saying. Pretty sure that it was going to...
Nah, man, Jon's retired. What are we talking about, guys? Jon, you guys don't follow Jon on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that...
No, me too, actually. Me too, but the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career, we all know. We know Jon's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And, you know, we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. You know, the contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So Jon's retired and it's time that we move on.
Jon Jones, just as he predicted, Tom Aspinall over a year ago, I think, said, I will retire this man without even having to fight him. He's never going to fight me. And despite all the umming and ahhing and all the fucking pretending that he was going to actually ever get in the cage with Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones has done what we always knew he was going to do. He's tucked tail and ran. Imagine calling yourself a goat and yet behaving like such a duck. I mean, this is like back in the playground. Jon Jones has got a bike, Tom Aspinall's come over and goes, give us your bike now. What you have to do then is fight. You have to defend what your shit is and say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load of shit. I'm sorry. Never going to call that him the GOAT. Ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges, the biggest tests, go in there and test yourself against everyone? And Jon Jones proved, without a shadow of a doubt, his biggest test, stepped up and he bottled it well and truly. Remember this clip from like over a year ago when Jon actually met Tom in person?
Respect, man. All the best. Respect. All the best. Do a quick picture. Sure. Yeah? Let's get it. A face-off. No, okay.
He wouldn't even face off with Tom Aspinall, let alone get in a cage with him. And after all of the fannying around and waiting for Jon Jones to man up and strap his balls on and defend his heavyweight title, because you've never really earned it. You beat a guy who wasn't even the champion. You beat Sticky. Oh my God, what a farce that fight was. That will go down as the most pointless, pathetic fight I can imagine in a world.
Still, questions linger over the heavyweight division. What if Jones decides to come back for one last super fight? What if this retirement talk is really just part of a bigger negotiation? And what if the UFC eventually sets the stage for a blockbuster return? For now, it's all speculation. But one thing is certain, Joe Rogan's comments have only ignited a discussion that's nowhere near finished.